What's going on, Trollomaniacs? Welcome back to the channel, and you know I can't get through the month of October without at least one horror-themed video. And today I'm bringing my buddy, the Nintendo Switch, along for the ride. We always think of Nintendo as this cutesy, kid-friendly platform, and it is. Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Kirby, only they could take all these characters, turn them into insane fighting machines, put them into a game that you would think would be violent and malicious, and make it cute in Smash Brothers. But don't let that fool you, because they also have a dark side, and I'm here to bring it out. There's some amazing horror games on the Nintendo Switch that you can play docked, you can play handheld, under your covers, curled up with a pair of headphones, ready to scream at a moment's notice. And I'm here to bring those to the forefront of your mind. So stick around, let's talk about horror games on the Nintendo Switch. First off, I just want to make sure you guys do realize many of these games have been ports to the Switch from the Xbox, from the PS4, from the PC. So that doesn't mean this is the only way to play. It just might be the best way to play, especially if you want to curl up under a blanket and grab those headphones. So first off is Layers of Fear Legacy. This is the be-all, end-all for Layers of Fear fans. It has the DLC. It has the touchscreen HD rumble support. It makes this bone-chilling game even more inclusive. It has a balance between gameplay mixed with some puzzles that make your fuzzy brain work, keeps you on your toes the entire time. This game has you take a deep dive into the mind of an insane painter. Okay, it doesn't sound like the most crazy thing, but he is on the cusp of finishing his magnum opus, his greatest piece of work to date. And this game is amazing at building up the intensity, building up that anxiety, and then boom! It drops a scare on you at the right moment. Again, if you want to play this to its fullest, put some headphones on and really experience this one. Definitely want to check out if you haven't played Layers of Fear. Next up, we're going to Outlast Bundle of Terror. Now, it might be hidden in the eShop, but don't let that fool you. Definitely worth downloading. You get 2 games for the price of 1. You get the original Outlast and its sequel. In the first one, you're an investigative journalist who decides on a whim to check out a remote psychiatric hospital in the mountains of Colorado. Why? Why would you ever do that? Of course, he not only goes there, but he does it in the nighttime. Are you serious? And he also goes without any weapons. His weapon of choice is a camcorder with limited battery, and it has night vision. All the night vision does is scare the bejeebers out of you and shows you things you probably don't want to see. This is definitely a stealth game. You are hiding, you are running away, you have no way to really defend yourself. And the anxiety that it builds up is incredible. Prepare to hide in lockers, behind shelves, and any other container that can keep you out of harm's way. The sequel plays out in a similar fashion, but in this game, a husband and a wife are on the trail of a mystery Jane Doe murder in the middle of the Arizona desert. But of course, tragedy has to strike. Their helicopter goes down, down, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, down, and it's gone. There's a nice little cutscene, some pretty gruesome stuff, and you realize that you and your wife have been separated once you come to. And what do you know? You travel along and you end up in a village that only Leatherface and his favorite family members will be welcome in. This place is a little bit rough. And again, you're armed with a camcorder. So much like the first game, you're pretty much helpless. But because of that, the anxiety, the stress, the scares, they're all there, and you've got this wacky cult to deal with. Have at it. Who here has been a naughty boy or girl? Ever been in detention? Probably nothing like this next game. Detention is a classic survival horror game, except it's 2D. Yeah, you're not getting the 3D aspect. It's a 2D side-scrolling survival horror game, and it works. Set in a Japanese high school, it is literally survival horror to its core. The school these students once knew has been transformed into something creepy and haunted, and while exploring the school and uncovering secrets to what's happening, you got to avoid and escape these monsters known as the Lingered. This is definitely a unique take on a classic genre, but it has got some really good reviews, and it is just incredible how they can turn a full on what you would think a 3D type of survival horror experience would be into a 2D side scroller. You ever woken up with a mark on your arm, a bump on your face, a scratch on your neck? Okay, hold on. Just from like falling out of bed or something? Yeah, well imagine waking up with a mark on your arm that literally says, yep, you're gonna die. That's what Spirit Hunter Deathmark is all about. It's a visual novel adventure game that basically says, hey, you've woken up, there's a mark on your arm, congratulations, you're gonna die. You go chapter by chapter as you eliminate spirits on your journey to find out why the heck you have this mysterious mark on your arm in the first place. This house opens its doors and says, come on in, because this house is supposed to protect those afflicted with the mark. Do you go in? Of course you're gonna go in. And that's how this game starts out. And the journey that follows, well, it's nothing short of scary. How could I make a list without the granddaddy of survival horror Resident Evil on it? Now there's a couple options to pick, but I'm going with the Origins Collection, the twofer, the 2-for-1. You get Resident Evil 1, you get the prequel Resident Evil 0. We all know Resident Evil 1, it was the game that really dropped down and made survival horror what it is today. This game is a remake, thankfully, of the first game. It's been on PS4, it's been on the Xbox, but hey, it's still great to play it on the Switch. Then, the sequel. It may not have the most memorable cast of characters, poor Billy, made one and done, but hey, it's still worth checking out if you haven't played it. And again, to have Resident Evil at the palm of your hands, now that's playing with power. Collections are where the value's at with the Switch, and the Amnesia Collection is the thing that nightmares are made of. The original game, it will scare the crap out of you. Justine is the DLC that will give your brain a workout with some puzzles that are anything but PG-13. And then finally you get the sequel, A Machine for Pigs, which gives you a better story in a simpler gameplay format than the original. It is literally a scary horror walking simulator, if that makes any sense. Graphically, it may not be the best, but this is the gold standard for horror games. With your sanity meter constantly being triggered, this is what makes it fun. The screen goes crazy, you start going insane, it becomes part of your psyche as you play the game. Like many horror games, running and hiding is usually the only form of offense and defense you have in these games. Nobody for some reason can seem to find that many weapons. And Amnesia knows how to make each experience pump your heart rate up, get your brain working, and make you change your underwear. If you want to make a horror game, take the elements of the next one, create your own storyline, and you're going to have an instant classic. Alien Isolation is a port from the PS4, the Xbox One, but it has all the DLC. It actually visually looks fantastic, but most importantly, it keeps the scares, the nerve-wracking encounters, and the anxiety-filled tension when you're trying to hide. This game is one that everybody that wants to be scared needs to play. If you're a fan of the films, Ellen Ripley's daughter is the main character. You're playing as Amanda, who is on a spacecraft that has a lovely visitor, a highly intelligent xenomorph that wants nothing else than to kill you. So your goal? Stay alive, limited resources, limited weapons. Your best defense is to hide around corners, hide in grates, and not be seen. But easier said than done. With the AI of this game being incredibly intelligent, it is a constant stress of being detected. Imagine like Metal Gear Solid, except instead of a couple guards, you have an alien chasing you around. And you don't have the weapons. You don't have the martial arts skills of Solid Snake. It's just you on a spacecraft with a big old scary alien. You can play it in the car, play it in a plane, you can play it in a train. Whatever you want to do, this is one to check out. Ladies and gents, there you go. A handful of horror games that yes, you could probably play on other platforms, but if you have a Switch, play it on that. Take it to bed with you. When your spouse, your siblings, your parents go to sleep, pop this on, hide under your covers, and make sure to close your door, because you be a screaming. As always, keep trolling, keep rolling. See you next time.